Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Isabel, and today we will be focusing on our pancreas. This is part of a series, as you might or might not know, on the endocrine glands, and I will put the link in the description box below for the ones that we already did. So yeah, the pancreas, it has, like the other ones, an energy that goes with it, that it embodies the spirit, if you will, and that's often referred to as the spirit of blessing. And I find that very telling, because here's where we receive, the blessing of life, and where we get to choose what we're doing with it. And metaphysically speaking, the pancreas is related to indecision or decision making, really, right? So yeah, indecision is a topic that I can actually weigh on it. But it's related to decision making. So when it comes to all the impulses that we're taking in, what are we doing with them? And what are we taking in to begin with? Is it a blessing or not? And then what we're doing with it, is it a blessing or not? And that really determines then how we perceive life, and the quality of life. So yeah, I find it an important one, and I know I say this about all of them, and they all are, right? They all play into each other. They all work together. It's not one or the other. And yeah, it's all bodies, all minds, on all levels, throughout time and space, versions, dimensions, and that's how all the healings are set up as well. But since we're focusing on the pancreas, I just feel that that's one where many of us might have a slight imbalance, simply because diet-wise, we might have not have or had the best diets in the past, and some of us might still struggle, letting go of things. And that doesn't have to be just physical diet, right? So we're talking about diets on all levels. And then also other things can weigh on it as well. Like I already said, indecisiveness, when we can't make decisions, or if somebody's in their head all the time, like very mental, that weighs on that area as well. Yeah, and worrying also. Somebody worries a lot. So as with the others, we will, just start off by breathing together, grounding together, centering together, then balancing it, and then cleansing it, and then also throw in those points for clearing as well, topics related. And yeah, integrate what we did. So you might want to sit down for this. If you want to lay down, of course you can, whatever you so choose, right? But yeah, let's just dive in. So let's all close our eyes. And settle down and arrive. Let's take 3 breaths together. Make it just deep, long breath. And of course you can adjust it. So just take a deep breath in. And out. And in. And out. And another one in. and out. So let's get grounded. So just ground down into the earth, deep, deep, deep down, either from your base or your feet. Or however you like to do that. Okay, and then place your awareness in the center of your head. And try to stay there throughout, while also holding the intention for optimal function, health, well-being. Okay, and we'll start off by balancing our pancreas. Okay. Now we're going into cleansing it out. Cleansing out any disruptors, any obstructions, implants, overlays, anything that can throw it off. Okay, and also now let's clear on worry, patterns of over worrying. And then being too mental, overthinking, around that. Indecisiveness and the fear of making decisions. And then feeling malnourished in any way, any area. And also any affliction, all forms of affliction. Okay, let's move into integrating, stabilizing what we did. Okay. So just take a deep breath. And then when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Yeah, as always, you can come back to this anytime. And when we feel something is a little bit out of whack, then yeah, it might take a bit of consistency with it. But whatever you choose. And I checked in what else could be supportive. So what came through for this was eucalyptus oil. And I actually did look that up because I only knew it, related to, like colds or, lung stuff and all that. So, or the airways, So, but when I looked it up in terms of blood sugar, it supposedly has anti-diabetic effects. So, I mean, we're just talking about topically using it, right? So if one would use that, could use just like a carrier oil of any sorts, like almond oil or avocado oil, and then just put like 2 to 3 drops in that oil, and then just massage it, on that area. So basically, like the solar plexus area, and then maybe like a little bit to the left. Yeah, and of course, the topics that we went into, if something there spoke to you, maybe address that deeper, find ways to balance it out. And movement, of course, can be supportive always. And yeah, in terms of energy, like I noticed if I do something, and you might have noticed that yourself, if you do something early in the morning, or that's how it is for me, if I do something early in the morning, like let's say yoga, or this morning it was just dancing for a while, right? Then I can actually feel like the energy is like more, evenly distributed throughout the body, and it's actually more steady throughout the day as well. And then, of course, overall consumption, what we're consuming, what we're taking in. And in terms of food, we all know this, right? Like processed, probably not the best option. So, and I guess, I mean, wherever you're at, right? If you can't let go of something yet, but we can still aim for, more of the whole foods and less of the ones that might be disruptive, right? So whole foods like fruits and greens and veggies and nuts and seeds. And as our bodies are changing, whether you're aware of that or not, we naturally oftentimes gravitate towards more, well, more wholesome foods, but then also like lighter foods, like less dense foods, and things that might have worked in the past that we might have tolerated, maybe now not so much anymore. So yeah, but all that. That should be it. Well, one thing I just wanted to bring in here, and I'm not going to claim this, or nor can I, right? But just to ask a question, I guess. So let's just say, what if like all the rules that we've learned around, how much of this, like what to eat to begin with, but then like also how much of this, how much of that. What if all of that was just conditioning, programming? And I'm not saying that there's not, the nutrients and the foods whether we choose to look at it in terms of, you know, nutritional content or vibrational. But just like all the shoulds and the how-tos around it, you know, what if it was conditioning, and what if we actually got to choose whether we want to adhere to it or not? And I mean, if it works for someone, great, then I'm not touching that, right? I just see a lot of times people that really stress around that, and what to eat and what not to eat, and how much of this and how much of that. And I just find that since I let go of all of that for me and simply tune into what's right for me in any given moment, then usually there's something, not usually, always, there's something that sticks out. And it might be a combination of things, but there will be something that just feels right, that just feels good, you know? So if I know what that is, why would I pick anything else? Because our bodies are highly intelligent. They know what they need. And again, if I know what's right for me, all the other options, they just drop away. And we can do that with any decisions, right? If you struggle with making decisions, then that's something you can actually practice with other things, simply by tuning into how that feels. And if it's a bigger decision, then yeah, how is it going to feel half a year from now, 2 years from now? Because we might not know how it looks like, but we can actually feel into it. And, you know, and go with that, because we all have that inner knowing. It's just a practice, really. Going in and practicing, you know. In terms of food, yeah, tuning into the vibration of the food, then also tuning into ourselves, right? And what is right for me at any given moment. And in the beginning of that practice, you know, you might have to go a little bit like back and forth, you know. And it might be more of an instant knowing, but it can also be feeling it out. But with a bit of practice, it gets more instant. And then it's so much quicker, and I don't even have to stress about any of that. I can just go in and I just know what it is, right? I know, and it's just so, it makes it simpler, and it makes it also more spacious, I guess. And also more playful, because other things go into that as well, not just the physical needs, right? So whatever I choose to experience for that day, all of that goes already into it without even having to think about it. So given the most recent topic, if I choose to experience more pleasure that day, right, or like make it more sensual, then my food choice is probably going to be different than if I want it to be like very exciting and fun, or if I don't know, want some kind of cleansing action that day, maybe clean out the closets or whatever, right? And again, I don't have to think about it because that's already in the mix. So yeah, I just thought I would bring that in there. That shall be it for today. So thank you for being here. And yeah, I'm sending you lots of love. Take care.